I know I'm not supposed to be thinking today. I'm supposed to be enjoying the void. But I saw a person earlier and they were practicing to think and say nice things about themselves. It's an early step, an early stage toward self-love. That's actually how it begins. I wanted to make a video about self-love. It's a confusing topic, it seems, for a lot of people, and I'm gonna try and see if I can bring some clarity to it. Now, this is just from my personal point of awareness. I'm not saying this is absolutely the way it is. I'm just sharing my awareness of it, with it, my experience with it. And if it doesn't resonate with you, just leave it. It doesn't matter. But I want to put this out there in hopes that I can alleviate some of the confusion. And it relates to this whole concept we hear about 3D, 4D, 5D. We never mention 1 and 2D, and the D is for dimensionality. We're multi-dimensional beings. And from within the awareness that I have now, this goes back to what they teach in Eastern mysticism and Hinduism, and I'm not a Hindu, but it's a truth that overlaps into the different religions, and they just express it differently. The number 5 is representative. Not only do we have 5 senses, smell, taste, touch, hear, and see, but there are 5 sense bodies that make up the human being. You picture yourself like a Russian doll, and there's 5 versions of you in your being. And I'm going to try and enumerate them if I can remember them. One is the physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, and psychological. Something along that line. There are 5 different personas is a bad word. I don't know what the right word to use. There's 5 dimensions to us. And so in my understanding, 1 to 5D relates to the 5 dimensions of the human energy body being. So how do we self-love when there's 5 of us, 5 versions, 5 dimensions? At first, we begin with entertaining the thought and expression of to perceive good things about us. I mean, all of us came into the world, we had our self-worth knocked out of us. Like, we were just human trash as far as that goes. But that is only a one-dimensional, 1D, one-dimensional awareness. If you see the human being only as trash and sinful and wicked, that's the lowest awareness that we can hold. And anyway, so how do we begin to love? We can do it through self-affirmation, and that's where it has to start, to break through the barrier of self-loathing and actually recognize um, characteristics about ourselves that are beautiful and valuable and worthy. And every part of us is worthy of love. So we're here looking at self-love. What is self-love? It's not so much the things that we do for our body, although it's part of it, but it's not the only expression of self-love. If you take your hot baths and you have your oils and your smells and your candles and all that, that's only one layer of self-love, and you're giving your physical body love, which is very necessary. I'm not discounting any of it. But when we get into the deeper levels where we need to apply self-love is emotionally and psychologically. That is where our deepest shadows are, where we are lacking self-worth because of what we have been told. And so that takes some work to undo and uproot the old programming of you're stupid, having been told you're stupid, you're worthless, and usually there was actions, abuse, and punishment that goes along with it that reinforce this idea. It's very difficult to come out of that, but it's not impossible. And the goal is that we come to the wholeness through self-love on all 5 levels. And I feel personally that I'm very close to completeness in that, where I am loving myself in all 5 dimensions: the physical, the mental, the emotional, the psychological, and the intellectual, and the spiritual. So I'm becoming a well-rounded and well-grounded being, holistic being, that loves itself at each level, at the deep levels. And so what does that look like in practice? Since I am now in the awareness, I made a comment. The post that was where the post that I had seen about this self-love and saying nice things about yourself, they were asking for some of the comment describing myself, and I just wrote down, I'm the bomb. I am the absolute bomb. And that is not an arrogant statement or a prideful statement. I can say this from an awareness that is centered in absolute love. What it means is I am secure and whole in all 5 of my bodies. So that enables me to live open-hearted towards every human being, every person. And it doesn't matter whether you are having a good day or you're having a bad day, whether you know more than myself, whether you are more intelligent than myself. Whatever it is, Whatever you are doing does not faze me. It does not offend me. It does not highlight a deficit in me that I feel like I have to make up for in my ego. I'm not going to be so self-assured that I'd say I'm 100% there, but I'm 95% there. And when I do slip into those 5%, I'm very aware of me slipping back into defensive awareness. But that happens very, very rarely. This identity, this conscious awareness of self-love is very grounded in me. And so when you might say something unkind to me, or you might upstage me because you feel you might feel triggered or offended by something that I'm saying, or just by what I am, how I'm being in my self-confidence. It might trigger you into defensive reaction. And you could be snarly or just not exactly being kindness. But that does not faze me anymore, because I am whole in my own being. I know with absolute certainty my self-worth and value. And however another person relates to me no longer threatens me. I can stay open-hearted, and that's why I can love unconditionally without going into defense mode. And that's where the struggle and the battle is, and where the resistance and the strife comes from, when two egos meet head to head, and each one is trying to secure their position to keep themselves safe, right? We're trying to keep ourselves safe, and we're gonna have it out in arguments, battle it out to stay afloat. But that is because we have not yet integrated all our 5 dimensions within us with love, in love. And there might still be areas where we don't quite feel secure, and our love depends on the approval or the opinion of another person agreeing with us. I'm beyond that. I have no more need for that. It doesn't change my love for you and how I feel for you. I never see you as adequate or lacking. I do see you as an insecure person when your energy drives you into defense. I feel that. I can pick that out of every word you might say or write. But I don't see you as bad. I see you as a person that is just struggling with their own ego, as you're shifting out of one dimension into another. And usually we call shifting into ego is shifting into a lower dimension, like the 3D, sometimes 4D. There's still that battle within us going on, and that causes this shifting, this shifting through the multiple dimensions. And that's what causes, when we're in this defense, that causes us to close up our hearts towards other people, because in the back of our mental mind, we're still thinking, oh, that person doesn't like me, or they might not be in a good mood, and we take it personally, and our mind will go, oh, that person doesn't like me for whatever reason, and it may not have anything to do with you. It's very well, and most likely, their own feeling about themselves that they're projecting in their mood onto you outwardly. It has nothing to do with you. But the more we integrate our 5 dimensions within us through love, the more we can permanently function from love. And that is self-love. That is the real self-love and the awareness of this self-love. You are just not threatened by things that could make you insecure. And that is our whole dilemma as human beings. We're always on the defense because we're not in that higher awareness yet that there is, that we really are a divine soul and a beautiful being, and that our shadows are merely our ego that is struggling with uh, this lack of self-worth. So I know it was quite convoluted, but I hope it helps um, understand what self-love looks like. And when we self-love in that measure, we have love for everyone. There would be enough love to go around the whole world. So I just thought I would share that as poorly as I did, but hopefully that helped.